Sir, I think you can, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Respected dignitaries, guests, and dear participants, good morning to everyone. It is an honor to welcome you all to this faculty development program on sustainable construction practices organized by the Department of Civil Engineering in association with the Indian Concrete Institute at KL University. This program marks a significant milestone in our ongoing commitment to promote sustainability and innovation in the field of civil engineering. Now I would like to extend a warm welcome to our respected head of the department, Dr. P. Polraju sir. I'm also delighted to acknowledge the significant contributors of our convenes, Dr. J.D. Chaitanya Kumar sir and Dr. N. Lingeshwaran sir. As a civil engineers, we have a crucial role to play in shaping a sustainable future. This program aims to provide us with the latest knowledge and innovation practices that are essential for achieving sustainability in construction. We are honored to have with us a panel of distinguished speakers and experts who will be sharing their insights and experiences over this course of program. Your participation and contributions are greatly valued, and we look forward to learning from you. I also extend a warm welcome to all the participants who have joined us. Your presence here is evidence to your commitment to continuous learning and professional development. We hope that this program will provide you with a platform of exchange ideas, promote collaborations, and enhance your expertise in sustainable construction practices. I wish everyone an enriching experience over the next few days. Let us all take this opportunity to deepen our understanding, broaden our horizons, and contribute the advancement of sustainable construction practices. Thank you. Now I would like to request our head of the department, Dr. P. Polraju sir, to share a few words.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, one and all. Myself, Dr. P. Polraju. So I welcome you all for the 1 week virtual faculty program on sustainable construction practices from today to 10th August 2024. So organized by Department of Civil Engineering in association with the Indian Concrete Institute and the CEA, Civil Engineering Association. So I congratulate and I appreciate all organizers, and I also appreciate all participants who joined today. So for their active participation. So you get the lot of information from this topic. So we have given very good speakers across the India and across the world actually. So to give the knowledge base to the participants. So I hope this FDP may help you all for your future endeavors, and for your for suppose if you're teaching the subject to your students in your class, so you can include and you can incorporate these parameters and this new information which all speakers are going to share this continuous 5 days actually. So in this regard, so I welcome you all once again for this faculty development program. My special thanks to all speakers who readily accepted our invitation and who are willing to share their knowledge through this virtual mode on this occasion of faculty development program on sustainable construction and practices. So I welcome you all once again. All the best. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker for today's session, Dr. Sunil Nandipati sir. He is currently serving as an assistant professor in the Department of Civil Engineering at Geetham University, Visakhapatnam. Dr. Sunil Nandipati sir earned his PhD in Civil Engineering with a specialization in Construction Technology and Management from Andhra University under the guidance of Professor GVR Srinivas Rao sir, former Vice Chancellor of JNTU Anantapuram. He attained an MSc in Real Estate Valuation from Annamalai University, Tamil Nadu, and MTech in Construction Technology and Management from NIT Warangal, and BTech in Civil Engineering from Chaitanya Engineering College, Vizag. With over 12 years and 9 months of diverse professional experience, Dr. Sunil Nandipati sir dedicated almost 12 years for teaching and 8 months for his practical experiences in the industry. In his eminent career, Dr. Sunil Nandipati sir has held various significant positions. He has been as an assistant professor at Geetham, a project engineer at Project Central in Vizag, and a construction engineer at Gopal Engineering Works Private Limited. His ability to manage and communicate effectively with clients and colleagues has been an attribute of his career. Dr. Sunil Nandipati sir's areas of specialization include construction project management, energy efficiency of buildings, sustainable construction, advanced construction materials, drone technology, building information modeling, and life cycle assessment. His research endeavors are noteworthy, with projects such as Geetham Research Seed Grant for developing thermally insulated sustainable building materials and project research on Department of Science and Technology, assessing the energy performance of materials used in affordable housing. As a prolific researcher, Sir has been published 10 international journals and with 3 papers currently under review. He has presented his work at numerous national and international conferences, showcasing his contributions to the field. His achievements are numerous and include serving as a guest of honor for Pratishta 2K24, being certified as an energy conservation building code expert, professional, and co-chairing technical sessions at international conferences. He has also been recognized with the Best Transforming Speaker Award in Speechcraft 2021 and the National Award of Excellence in 2022 by the Glacier Journal Research Foundation Award Committee, Gujarat. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Sunil Nandipati sir. We are privileged to have you with us today to share your insights and expertise. You may now proceed, sir. Sunil sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's really reading my bio is thank you so much. So I think can I share my screen? Is my voice is audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the invitation and thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you, Head of the Department, Polraju sir, and thank you, Chaitanya, and thank you, Lingeshwar sir, and thank you, Divya, for reading my bio. Yeah, so I'll share my screen. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Visible, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So I think myself, Dr. Sunil Nandipati. So I'm done my master's in construction technology and management. So in Department of Civil Engineering, Geetham University. So I think today's FTP is mainly on the role of precast technology in construction. So how this precast is playing an important role in the present era. So we'll talk about it. So the flow of my presentation is introduction about precast and historical background, why precast technology is used in present era, and what are the types of precast elements, what are the methodology, what is the time and cost comparisons, advantages, and challenges faced by the precast technology during the manufacturing and transportation, and what are the solutions suggested for the future challenges in implementing this precast technology, and what are the practical applications of precast. So I think everybody know about precast. So it is one of the important technology right now. So in most of the areas and most of the places in India, they are implementing precast technology. So precast construction technology is a system of casting the concrete in a reusable molds with a controlled environment and conveyed to the construction site and lifted to the place. I think if you can see this precasting, how you have an RMC plants like ready mix concrete plants, like that we have a precasting sites where I think these kind of panels are prepared by using these kind of formworks and all. Okay, so I think what is a conventional construction versus precast construction is, I think everybody know that we require a lot of formwork for constructing of slab, columns, as well as foundation, all these things. So this is something like a technology where it is produced in the casting yard and brought to the site and it is fixed. Okay. So let us talk more on the how this precast technology is really playing a vital role in the construction. So what are the sectors that are implementing this precast technology? Most of the buildings in Bangalore, Hyderabad, and other places and all, they're implementing this housing projects for the precast technology, where it comes under the faster construction. So I think most of the flyovers, bridges, and all, they'll be using this precast technology for construction of these gutters, all these things, and all, like superstructures and all. And in transportation sector, they're using for roads also this precast technology. So it is playing a vital role in all the kind of sectors. So the historical background of this precast technology is something like previously the ancient Roman times and all, the concrete and stone poured into the material into the molds to build a complex network, like where the aqueducts, culverts, and tunnels are generally constructed with the concrete in the previous time. And in the modern world and all, these precast buildings are very popular in Liverpool, England in 1905. So they have used this technology for the faster construction to reduce the cost in the construction as well as it. If you take in India and all, the five-storied building was constructed in 1920. This is the first kind of precast building. It was constructed in 1920 with using a reinforced concrete frames. This is headed by the Tata Projects, Tata Group. So if you take the Roman aqueducts and all, they used to construct with this, what is this, stone masonry kind of structures and all. This is a precast structure which is constructed in 1920 in Bombay. where it is completely a precast technology, where it is still it is in the alive and most of the people are using this kind of building. So why precast technology? So I think when you see the rapid growth in the urbanization in all the areas where the population is increasing, so the demand for housing has been decreased because of the conventional houses. It little bit takes a lot of time in implementing this technology and implementing the conventional practices and all. The lack of speed in the conventional construction is also one of the issue. And there is a huge demand for the market to build more houses and all. And one more thing is nothing but labor efficiency is decreasing in most of the sites. Maybe this precast technology will play an important role in altering the process and reduce the time as well as the labor efficiency in the construction sites. What is the urban housing demand in India? So if you take something like in 1990, so almost all the 20 crores population is there. The demand is around 41. Twice the population, thrice the population, definitely the demand for housing also will increase. Can the conventional construction practices can be continued or can be there for the future in meet the demand? So we
Sir,
really has
excuse
to
me,
look
sir.
into
Your
this
screen is not
direction.
audible, sir. Sorry for interruption. Your screen is not audible, sir.
Screen is not visible.
Yeah, screen is not visible, sir. Once again, you stop, sir, and again you share the screen, sir.
Sure, sure, sure. Now it is visible, sir.
Yeah, now it is fine, sir. Fine.
Yeah.
Please
So
proceed, sir.
demand for the yeah. So the urban demand for urban housing demand in India is something like 1991. It is around 20 crore population that time. So now the population is getting around 140 crores as present, but it will definitely increase by 2050 by thrice the population. So we can expect around 200, 250 plus population in India. Can this kind of fulfillment demand can be meeting with the conventional method? So we really has to think what are the different kind of solutions and challenges to implement a new kind of technology in India, whether it is really cost efficient and labor efficient and the time is reduced. So what is the housing shortage in India? So if you take the state-wise housing shortage in India in 2012, if we take in the millions, so it is 76% of the total housing shortage concentrated in 10 states. If you take Uttar Pradesh is having a higher shortage of housing sector. It is around 3.07 millions. And if we take something like next is Maharashtra, then West Bengal, then Andhra Pradesh, then Tamil Nadu, then Bihar, then Rajasthan, then Madhya Pradesh, and Gujarat, and Jharkhand, and so on and so forth. So if you take the housing shortages, definitely it plays an important role because the population is goes on increasing, but the housing demand is getting reduced because of the conventional practices, and practically the cost is also a little bit high. So if you face something like what are the facing of conventional construction in market and all. If you take something like the global construction market has been reached the value of nearly 14 trillion in 2023 and having increased at a compounding growth rate at 4.3% over a past decade. And the market is expected to decline from 14 billion in 2023 to 12 billion in 2023. So the growth rate is approximately -2%. So definitely, I think in future the conventional constructions does not have a proper kind of regular practice because of the requirement of the raw material is little bit decreased if you take a normal conventional practices and all. So really we have to look which can be an upcoming technology which replaces the conventional practices. Yeah. So I think world is moving towards sustainability. So definitely conventional practice is comparatively better than the other kind of technologies, something like precast and 3D printing and all these technologies. Definitely it is coming up in the next future decade by 2020, 2030. So we really has to look into what kind of practices is really fit for the construction. So if you take the global market of precast concrete, so if you take in 2020, the USD it is around 10.1 billion. So now in 2027, it will go up to almost all, it is 50% increased by 5.6% has been increased for the compounding annual growth rate at 5.6%. So I think really the researchers are telling that the precast concretes plays an important role in saving the material, saving the time, as well as saving the manpower. So if you take the global precast construction market, so the key trend is something like the growing the trend for the smart cities. I think the government is driving the people to implement a smart materials and smart cities where it has to grow and save the energy as well as save the energy in all the aspects, maybe in the initial cost of the construction as well as on the operational cost. Definitely, most of the people nowadays in smart cities, they are looking for a life cycle cost because life cycle cost is a very important factor where it has an higher significance in terms of sustainability. So market driver, the growth in the infrastructure development. If you see from the last decade to this decade and all, so there is a huge new kind of materials we pop up into the market where there are some kind of replacements that are going into the different like cement replacement and other aggregate replacement and many other resources has been replaced with a new kind of traditional materials and there is a demand for the house for affordable construction also. I think the rise in the demand for the housing sector has been increased. So since it is increasing also, the people try to work on the affordable housing. I think everybody know about Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. It works on the low cost housing. I think government is implementing new kind of policies to make living for the people for the next 2040 for every kind of people. The housing should be available at a lower kind of price. That is also one of the intake of the government. And if you take the forecasting of the technology, like the market is projected with reaching almost all US 165.99 billion by 2021. So this is already reached, but still it is predicted to go fast. So the reasons behind the rise of this precast technology. So if you take the slow growth rate of this conventional construction market is little bit slow because I think a lot of energy is released from the industries like during this processing of cement and processing of like the manufactured aggregate. And so I think the government has to check for different alternatives for replacing these conventional materials and the non-availability of sufficient manpower to complete the projects is also very much difficult actually. So this is one of the major challenge what the conventional kind of industry is going through it. And there is a shortage and cost of raw materials actually. So I think if you go for Andhra and Telangana and most of the places in India, I think sand is one of the kind of material which is costlier and availability is very less. Most of the contractors are also a little bit struggling for the construction to complete after they start the construction also. I think increasing in the overall budgeted cost of the project, this is also one of the major issue because once if you take the construction projects and all, if the construction is getting delayed, definitely the cost of the construction also increasing and the burden for the client and the different contractors also the profitable margin will be decreased. So Then unnecessary time lags because of the raw material is not receiving onto the time. Proper planning is not done at the construction site. So this is also one of the major challenge, implementing new technology is one of the key challenge right now. So implementing of new strategies and speed up in process going ahead with this precast technology. So I think a lot of strategies, government policies is coming into picture. People are getting awareness. Then I think the implementation really become easy. If the more people are moving towards this precast technology, so one kind of thing is nothing but definitely cost is can be reduced comparatively lesser than the conventional practices also. So what are the types of this precast systems and all? If you come to the building constructions and all, larger panels are constructed like wall panels, slab panels, and slab panels are used. Then framing system like beams, column joints and all. Then frame column, slab column systems with a shear wall technology is also used in the precast building technology. So if you take these are some of the sites where I visited these sites, how the precast is really erected onto the installed into the site, and how the faster the building can be constructed with a durable comparatively conventional practices also. So this is also more sustainable in terms of every aspect. So if you come to something like segmental construction, like bridge constructions and all, like most of the peers, they'll be using a conventional concreting and all, and cast in situ. Then I think this pile cap is also constructed by using uh, in the conventional. But when you go for a piers and all, most of the piers are also constructed with a precast post tensioned pier segments and all. And this precast post segment superstructure also constructed by using precast technology. I think in most of the flyovers in Hyderabad and Visakhapatnam and other places and all, they'll be going with this precast technology because one kind of challenge is something like constructing on site with a cast situ. It is very difficult when you go for a flyovers and bridges. So if you generally most of the people will prefer to go for a precasting system and all, because I think you can avoid the formwork on site also. That is one of the big, and construction becomes a little bit easy, and traffic movement will be also easy if you go for a precast. So if you come to the types of building precast elements and all in building construction, like precast foundation also can be constructed. Precast beams and columns also can be done. Precast slab panels, precast wall panels, and precast staircases. See, all these are some of the kind of elements that are constructed. If you take this foundation, so it is constructed with a precast actually. So it is something like you can reduce the formwork on site and all. That is one of the thing, and where you can have an significant quality because you are constructing everything on a precasting yard, and where this is also one of the kind of flyovers in Hyderabad. They are constructed with a beam slab joint with a precast thing also. Actually, in buildings also they are using this kind of beam slab joints are also constructed with this precast. So precast elements in buildings, I think these are some of the kind of elements. They'll be provided with a hole and all to provide concreting in between. And this kind of technology like like these are used in the slabs and floors. And this is also a precasting staircase which is provided. These are the panels which are constructed for a housing sector for this precast buildings and all. So I'll show up a small kind of video how this hollow core slab which is produced in the precasting yard. So laying of the formwork. So I think one kind of thing is nothing but they'll be using a pre-stressing technology in this kind of precast. This is something like what is a comparison between a conventional method and this method is something like conventional method will be seeing a passive steel. And if you go for this precasting technology, you can see something like pre-stressing the tendons where the steel is more active. So this is a curing of this hollow core slabs, how it is lifted and placed into the on-site. Curing is also steam curing. Generally, they'll be preferred for this kind of precast technology, where you can get the strength very lesser, very faster compared to a conventional kind of slab and all. Seeding of this reinforcement, again they'll be providing a layer after the panels are provided. Yeah. Yeah. Next comes to how this precast elements are used in the bridge construction. So precast box pier segments are constructed. Precast pier caps also are constructed. Precast gutters, precast parapet walls, and crushed barriers also constructed by his precast technology. So this is also an on-site kind of construction that is there for bridges constructions and all, where I think they provided the foundation with a proper reinforcement that is injected, and there is a connector who connects the foundation with the pier. So this is also a gutter which is provided in the superstructure where it is used in the bridges. So again, they'll do concreting by sending the concrete into that hole, and it is provided. So these are also gutters which are provided onto the bridge constructions and all. So this is generally how the removal of this formwork can be done in the precast technology. So a lot of building units are also constructed by this precast technology. So this precast building units are effectively suitable for the group housing systems. So the government authorities are also implementing these units for the housing schemes and all. So it is mostly available in 1 BHK and 2 BHK. If you come to Andhra and like AP TIDCO is constructing a precast panels housing sector where the construction becomes faster, and they are giving the houses for a very lesser price of 5 lakhs. Remaining things the government is implementing for the subsidy. So I think building projects, definitely you can go with this precast technology, where if you can go with the mass construction and all, I think this is mostly preferred technology in terms of buildings. So that is one of the added advantage, and cost also can be reduced effectively. So what is a general method that is for the construction in buildings? And so if you go for a site selection and planning is very, very important. So design of the structural members is very, very important. How you manufacture the precast elements is also a really important factor. So how do you erect it on the site, and how you safely transport these elements into the site is also one of the major challenge, and other works. So this is something like general process will generally followed for any kind of construction, but precast is something like we need to take care about while transporting the materials onto the site. So I think these are some of the elements generally we have taken on the on-site when we visited some sites in India. So this building construction with the precast elements. So if you go for like a precast column lifting, okay. So when you lift a column, when you fix a column onto the footing and all, I think there is an extra kind of reinforcement that is provided. Okay. So this is provided to have a proper bonding between the footing as well as on the column. Okay. So then I think after it is laid, it is provided with the reinforcements at the four corners, and it is tied, and again it is casted. Okay. This kind of outside welding, it is done in the upper side and the lower side of the funnels. It is only for the bonding purpose. It should have, and proper hole is provided on the top, and the concreting can be done adequately. So this is something like a connector which is provided to have a strong bond between the footing and the column. So if you take all this, these are some of the elements like the precast pad footing, which is provided onto the on-site. And these are some of the kind of beams also provided with an extra kind of reinforcement. If you take all this kind of reinforcing bars and all, everything is a pre-tensioned bar. So the anchorage of the bolt for the alignment is fixed onto the precasting column. Okay, when it is fixed, when the column is fixed into the beam. So I think you have seen for the columns also, they'll be providing some kind of bent up bars only just outside from the base of the precast columns. So these are also some of the kind of precasting columns, which is generally manufactured in the casting yard, and it holds at the site, and it is properly fixed with a proper kind of bonding between the fixing is done is one of the major challenge into the construction. Okay, so I think when we visited some of the sites, how these elements are placed, how the connectors are formed between the column and the beam joints and all. Okay, so when you come to the bridge construction of these precast elements, foundation work is done in the precast, like the precasting segment installation is done. Loading of these precast conduits with the proper tendons are also maintained. Assembling the precast piers segments are also properly fixed. Then pre-stressing is done in the casting yard. Then the erection of girders also fixed onto the site, and finishing. Finishing is one of the major challenge. When you go for something like a wearing coat and all, uh, before a wearing coat, I think everything that is fixed properly, proper bond is there, proper connection is there between the different segments are also is really important, and this will maintain a unique homogeneity toward the structure for the future durability aspects, and any kind of crack should not be there if the proper connection is done between the different elements. So the types of connections which are involved in a building as well as bridges. Beam to beam connections should be properly engaged into the site. Beam to column connections, column to foundation erections should be managed properly. If you come to the bridge and all, foundation to pier connection, pier to pier connection, pier to cap connections, pier to gutter segments, and segment to segment alignments should be properly placed into the bridge and all to have a homogeneity. So I think pre-stressing is one applied technology which is improving the load bearing capacity as well as to maintain the stability of the elements. I think this pre-stressing is done by using an tendons and all, where I think they'll stretch the steel before the casting of concrete. So this is one of the major thing where before casting and all, I think concrete should have a homogeneity and should not crack, or it should not lead to any other shrinkage or any problems. It should not affect the durability in during the what is that longer life of the project. So these are the some of the aspects need to be considered when you go for it. So I think I told you before also, this pre-stressing technology is something like the steel will be there in the active state. When you go for a conventional practices and all, the steel will be there in the passive state. So this is more advantage also. So where the time and cost. So I think most of the people are thinking that precasting technology is something like a little bit costlier and having a higher time also. No, it is approximate. It is not right. So if you take some of the projects which I have considered for this precasting sites when I visited and talked with the contractors, like I think this is something like the blue color one indicates a precasting building where it is constructed. What is the general time of construction? If you go for a conventional building, this is the time. So I think hope you understood the time is reduced compared to a conventional. In a something, it is very important need to be noted and all. So I think this is also when a smaller kind of construction which is going with the precast, the time is also reduced. This is a project one, this is project two. So wherever we are going with this kind of precasting technology and all, definitely time will be reduced, because I think construction becomes a little bit easy in terms of what is the time and duration wise. If you come to the cost wise, definitely it is cost effective. Uh, it is not for every project, I can tell. So when you go for a mass constructions and all, definitely this will be a cost reduced in terms of overall cost. Material cost also can be reduced, then labor cost also. So that is one of the advantage comparison where we are making out for the project. So what are the general advantages of implementing this precast technology? So to produce a concrete with superior quality is one of the major challenge, and the labor required in the manufacturing process of the precast units can be easily, and we can train them actually. So I think skilled people are required in this kind of technology. Okay, so and the molds which are used to produce this precast elements are more durable and recyclable. So I think whatever the elements what you are seeing for casting this precast, they have a higher kind of gauge formwork which is at the precasting yard. So it is removable and it can be used for a number of times, because you are not you are eliminating something like in a conventional practice on-site kind of formwork. Here we are doing a formwork in a precasting yard. So okay, so the elements with maintaining a desired shape, whatever the shape you required, I think it has become easy because we have a proper kind of molds in the on-site, whatever the element you want to construct with a proper kind of shape. And finishing and accuracy will be strong because I think proper quality can be maintained in the precasting yard because everything is measured in a qualitative and required strength can be gained. Until unless the required strength is gained, we cannot take that element or a precasting element to the on-site for the construction. So the precast structures can be dismantled easily whenever it is required. That is also one of the advantage kind of thing. And transportation and storage of the various kind of concrete elements for the cast in situ can also be eliminated. So that is also it saves a lot of time in on-site. And precast can be adopted alternatively compared to a conventional kind of practice. And the work can be completed within a very shorter time, as I mentioned in the previous kind of slide. So you can reduce your time. That is one aspect. But that is one major aspect actually. So when the precasting units are adopted. So when the precast structures are to be installed, it is evident that the amount of scaffolding and formwork is also considerably reduced. So I think that is also one of the things. And most of the people are using this kind of scaffolding for the construction of the walls, column for plastering, all these things. Maybe it can be significantly reduced to the greater extent when you go for this technology. So what are the challenges that usually faced in the precasting technology? Okay. So proper standardization is one of the thing has to be coming into the practice. Procurement of proper material to reduce the cost and other aspects, and technological aspects like changing in the cost, changing in the raw materials will also can reduce the cost in the construction. So what it challenges are faced generally at the project level. So most of the people are generally think about the higher initial investment in the factory. Yeah, that is definitely it is there. It is little bit investment is high for setting this precast technology, and the economic scales are also one of the thing because a lot of projects has to come in a major kind of scale to implement this technology. And the additional burden on the taxes like excise and VAT taxes will be there during the procurement of materials and transportation and other aspects involved. The government has to give a proper subsidized standards for implementing this technology. So the joint stability issues during the erections will be one of the major challenge. I think I told you, know, the column joints and beam joints and the slab joints and the foundation joints and all, what they are provided, it should not have that kind of issue of cracking or corrosion or any other aspects need to be properly monitored during the erection and the installation stage. The requirement for the huge equipment and the stock yards are also provided to store the materials after the casting of the material is also one of the major challenge. So proper documentation and design aspects also to be considered in this precasting technology. So design issues can also be neglected at the early stage before the casting. And the complex design issues, if any typical members are there or something like that, definitely I think that should be taken more care in the terms of design and all. And the need for standard manuals and schedules and rates should be prepared for implementing this technology, and it should be having a proper kind of standardization and people, and it should be something like codely also. After a precast technology also having a specific codes where implementing this technology. Okay, so the skill development and the human resources. Okay, the lack of skilled manpower and lack of expertise, then technically known how this technology can be implemented is also one of the major challenge. The end user perspectives, the leakage issues, the end user friendly. So these are also should be taken care at the every level of the project. So what are the general disadvantages? So I think during the transportation of these precasting elements, we have to take a more care how to handle the material in the transportation stage and the erection stage also. A little bit it becomes very difficult to satisfy the connections between the precasting elements. It is necessary to arrange special equipments for lifting and moving the precasting units. I think transportation cost is little bit one of the major challenge in the precasting units and all. So to avoid this, I think one of the major thing is nothing but if it is a mass construction and all, you can set up your precasting yard within the site itself. Maybe I think you can reduce your transportation cost. Like that way, we can reduce the cost also and reduce the lot of things. And the economic achievement in this precast construction is particularly balancing by the amount of spending the handling the transportation and the precasting member also. So what are the solutions to this challenges for this technology? And generally the development of online portals for the dissemination of how this precast elements is done, how the procurement is there, and proper awareness should be created among the people and the different construction stakeholders, and all. A proper documentation and demonstration should be done by seeing the projects, how it is viable. So finalizing a proper design should be done before the project execution. If you go for a conventional practices and all, the designs are not particularly fixed and all. On-site construction, I think a lot of changes will be done. So little bit it has a higher kind of priority when you go for a precast. You have to do the like whatever the finalized designs have to be done onto the before the execution. And the government should have take proper initiatives for implementing this technology in terms of subsidy and all, since most of the governments are doing that one. But still, if the more kind of government policies and rules can be little bit leveraged for the people, for the contractors or other peoples and all, definitely I think this technology will come up in the faster kind of scale also. So reducing the exercise duties and relaxation in the taxes. Then standardization of the proper design should be maintained throughout the project. And high quality checks have to be maintained in every kind of project, because it is really important in the on-site as well as at the precasting yards. And skill development is really important to create an awareness, and maybe we can introduce these kind of precasting courses, like what is the technology, how it plays an important role, so how this procurement is done, how the casting yard is done. All this can be implemented in the practices in the engineering and all. So tracing a career growth in prefab technology. See, we are talking about precast. There are other kind of technologies called prefab, PEB, like pre-engineered buildings. So those are also coming in a higher scale, and proper research and development is going on to implement these technologies into the practices. The end user perspective, if you take something like I told creating a proper awareness for the different stakeholders and all, the end users should formulate any kind of new material which is coming into practice. It should be there in the codal kind of thing. Then only I think people, construction design consultants are ready to accept this kind of technology and all. So innovation is going to happen every time. but proper standards has to be maintained at every stage. So market strategies also need to be taken into consideration. Then I think professional liability of like insurance is also should be taken, because we already, when you go for a different kind of construction sites, they'll be implementing some kind of insurance for the building needs, and like any demolition, like any fire accident or something like that. Some liability is paid from the insurance people also. Actually, that is also one of the thing in terms of. And these are the companies, generally we have a tie-up with these companies where I was closely associated with them, for implementing for R&D, some kind of consultancy we are doing with these companies and all. So I think the structures with this precast technology, like R&D building in Vijayawada, this is constructed by completely a precast. Okay, then IIT Hyderabad is also implemented this precast technology. Now IIT Hyderabad also going with this precast technology. Okay, so if you go for a low cost housing models and all, AP CRD, like Capital Region Development Authority in AP, also constructed this housing projects with this precast technology. LV Prasad Eye Hospital is also done with this precast technology and all. So multi-level car parking of Infosys in Hyderabad is also done. Like LB Nagar flyover in Hyderabad is also implemented for bridges. See, finally, I can conclude that this kind of precast technology will always save the time, cost, when it is in the mass construction and all, when it is comparatively replacing the conventional kind of practices and all. So it is effectively suitable for commercial spaces, group houses, schemes, bridges, government buildings can also be constructed with this precast. We can definitely reach out to this demand of urbanization in India with this precast technology adoption. It is a more sustainable technology, implemented very fast, as well as durable and adequate, and also has a cost saving, and also can reduce the cost, life cycle cost. So I think government need to implement more strategies in imparting this new technologies in all the kind of areas wherever it is required. So this is something like a change kind of thing, which is definitely going to take place in the next future era, and it will become more faster in the next 5 years of implementing this precast technology in every aspect. It can be something like a PEB. Nowadays, in most of the areas, they are going for a commercial malls and all with this precast technology and prefab technology. So this is something like one of the change maker in terms of sustainable construction practices also. So that's it. Thank you for attending. Thank you for being the patient. So this is my mail ID and my phone number. So if you want to reach out to me, definitely I think in terms of research and in terms of anything, definitely will be helpful for you for the future. Thank you. Hope I think.
Sir, you well explained about precast technology.
Yeah, thank you.
So you given nice examples, even case
Yeah,
studies
yeah.
also.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Participants,
Thank
if you have any doubt, you can please check it in the box, or you can unmute yourself and you can speak. Dear participants, if anyone have doubts, you can feel free to post it in the chat box. I think no one have any doubts, sir. We can
Okay,
close the
thank
session.
you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
1
I
minute.
think I was on time, before time actually.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
no problem.
Thank
Sir.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all for joining and be patient. You can just, I'll put my mail ID into the chat box. Maybe if you have any questions, definitely I think you can reach out to me.
Thank you, sir. Your presentation has been incredibly enlightening. Your extensive knowledge and expertise in the field of precast technology has provided us with valuable insights and into numerous advantages and applications. Now, on behalf of the Department of Civil Engineering at KL University, I'm honored to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Sunil Nandipati, sir, for his insights and information session on precast technology. We deeply appreciate the time and effort you have invested in preparing and delivering this session, sir. Your contribution to this faculty development program are invaluable, and we are grateful for the knowledge and inspiration you have imparted to us. Once again, thank you for the outstanding presentation, sir.
Thank you so much.
Sir,
Thank
sir, sorry for disturbance. Actually, one participant given the question like, what about strength of precast and nominal construction? What about the
Yes,
strength of precast and nominal construction? So,
yeah. So
please.
strength, definitely strength is comparatively equal in both the kind of elements. So I think a lot of research is going on in terms of they are going with a high performance concrete also sometimes, and you can reduce your material cost also. Since it is, I think I told you, no, it is a technology where I think the steels is pre-stressed before casting of concrete. So in that way also, I think if the steel is becomes more active, definitely the reducing in the steel quantity, reducing the size of the bar can also be decreased. So if the size is decreased means it is not strength is decreased. So adequate strength is provided in terms of precast also.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I
request
once
all the
again
participants.
thank all the I once again thank all the kind of participants as well as the management of KL University for inviting me, as well as thank you Chaitanya sir for inviting me, and other organizers and HOD sir. Everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you so much,
Divya
sir.
also. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, now I can close my session. I can,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I
I
think,
request all.
yeah, please go ahead.
I request all the participants to give your feedback regarding this session. We'll send the Google form in your group, so please fill the. You may all. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. I can leave.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much.